Welcome to the Performance Enhancing Podcast. It's like steroids for your brain. A podcast for people looking to live life at their peak potential. Chock full of real-world tools and knowledge that you can apply in your life today. By providing you with a lens into the lives, beliefs, practices, and actions of those who are already living extraordinary lives, the Performance Enhancing Podcast will help you shift your mindset or create that change in your daily rituals and habits so you can explode with success in the areas of life that are most important to you. So get ready for another dose of Performance Enhancing Podcast with SatoriPrime. Here's your host, Elon Ferdman.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another Pep Talk or Performance Enhancing Podcast with your host, Elon Ferdman. And I have a special treat for you today. So it was May 7th, I believe, of this last year. So about a month or so ago, I was invited to give a short little talk at a group that we're associated with called the Six Figure Mentors. And this was at a live event that they were holding here in New York City. And I was trying to figure out, well, what do I want to talk about? And I shared what I think for you guys will be tremendously valuable. You may have heard me kind of drip and drap this kind of into a bunch of different podcasts, but this was about a 30-minute, very, very coherent talk about this one topic, and that is upgrading your systems. So if you follow me on Facebook or you've been on any of the Facebook Lives with me, if you haven't, by the way, make sure that you do. Just go and check that box next to my name and you'll get notified. But I spoke about upgrading your system. So what I spoke about here is why you produce the results that you produce over and over and over in your life. Some of them are good, but we're specifically going to talk about the ones that you'd rather have different results in. Then we're going to talk about how to upgrade those and create breakthrough results in your life with velocity. And the third and final one, which might come as a shock to you guys, is how to stop working on yourself. And that was the intention and outcomes of this specific talk. And I thought it went really well. There is a video component of it. I tend to move around a lot, and the camera that I got the video from is actually a steady cam. So some of the times I'm not on the screen. You're just kind of looking at back of people's heads. So if you want to watch the whole live presentation, make sure you go to YouTube. Otherwise, you can just listen to it. The audio is not obviously the best quality. The lav mic went bust and whatever, but it's really good enough. I cleaned it up here in some editing. And I think you guys will really, really enjoy it. If this is something that you resonate with at the end of this, I'll let you know again, but at the end of this, is this something you resonate with? I invite you to come to our live events. This is just a very, very small taste of the things that Guy and I are able to accomplish at our 2.5-day live event. So you can find out all that information at youwillhaveitall.com/live. Or you could just come to one of our coaching programs that we run consistently all year round. And you can find all about that at youwillhaveitall.com. So I hope you enjoy this. I had a lot of fun, as you'll be able to tell, presenting this, and I'll check in with you at the end.
We've all sat here. We've all been at these types of events. And I know one of the highlights of these experiences, sitting in your chair, is going, okay, great. Obviously, it's always inspired hearing, Stuart and Jay, and you can hear all this, but when I really valued hearing, listening, somebody that you knew in this very same day is in the same foxhole you're in. You get it? You guys know what I'm saying? That guy, that gal. I've known this guy I've seen you evolve in so many ways, Elon. You know him. If you're plugged in at all, you know him. You see him on the leaderboards, him and his brother. And you all have no idea how much he wouldn't do that if he wasn't truly committed to make a difference in the lives of others. But specifically, he's a stand to make a difference in your business and your life. Please welcome me in joining, I think, the best looking half of SatoriPrime. Got it on video? Take that, guy. Get up there, Elon.
Damn, it feels good to be a gangster. It's so good to see you guys. Does anybody not know me? Okay, cool. Oh, hi, I'm Elon. Nice to meet you. Hi, welcome. So this is a surreal moment for me. Well, it's actually my first Momentum Day, so I'm kind of in the same shoes as most of you guys. Weird. But it's a surreal moment because the team that I grew up idolizing, the team that mentored me, is here. JJ was my wake-up calls when I was back with Jay at Carbon Copy Pro. I showed up to 10 for 10. We made it. Less than 48 hours before the event, I get a call from JJ, and I remember, hey, Elon, this is JJ. I'm like, oh, shit. Yeah, we'll be there. It was like witnessing magic. His voice is on my phone!
You've been on my phone ever since, bro.
Then I show up. I meet Jay out front. First time. Jay, can I help you carry those boxes of soda? He's like, what is this doing? Is it not working? It's fun. Mic malfunctions. Get your shit together, guys. So I show up, I meet Jay. He's like, who's this dweeb? We're like, oh my God, it's Jay! And then Justin Wolf. We just hit it off then, became a mentor. We were going to his house and Anthony's house and working on our business and trying to figure all this stuff out. And here I am speaking on stage. I'm like, what? How? So it's a little surreal to be here right now. I'm super excited to be here right now. And I'm super excited to share with you the things that I want to say today because let me tell you what we're going to talk about and then I'll get into it. So I was going to make all pretty slideshows like I usually do. And I thought, fuck it. So here's the intentions and outcomes for today, okay? You will understand why you keep producing the same results in your life over and over and over and over again. Would that be good if you actually understood why you do that? Even the good ones that you can actually then repeat and you know why you're repeating them. But mostly we'll talk about the ones that you want to get rid of. The other one is how to achieve breakthrough results in your life. Would that be good? Yeah. All right. And the third one is, this is going to come as a shock to you, especially for me, but to stop working on yourself. That'd be interesting, right? How many of you guys think you're broken in some way, shape, or form? Be honest. Be honest. Like if there's just this one thing that I can change about myself, right? Welcome to the human race. So I want to explain to you how to never do that again. You're going to take yourself out of the equation altogether and be able to produce kick-ass results. You want to go on that ride with me? Yeah. Awesome. See, that's a good response. I'll take that. All right, so I want to give you a little bit of analogy. And is it all right if I walk amongst you? Is that going to... I feel like the people in the back are just like, are there people up there? Are they speaking to us? So I'll walk around. You guys will have to crane your head for a bit. So here's... How's the back look? So I want you to consider that your life in your brain works in this fashion. Does everybody know what a kayak is? I'm talking like the Olympic ones. The guys with like the huge backs, you know. So a kayak, I didn't know this, a kayak takes the rower and there's a rudder underneath. Didn't know that. Your life is very much the same way. Now, if your rudder is aimed and stuck in a certain direction, okay, could you ever get it to go where you want it to go? No, right? It's stuck. If you rode faster, would it get there? If you rode harder, would it get there? Is there anything that you can do if the rudder is stuck to get you where you want to go? No chance, right? You could be the strongest, most gifted, most number one Olympic rower in the world. I stick your rudder in one place, you're done. Yeah? That's the way your life is. I said you'd learn how to understand. I like all the shifting. This is good. I like you, keep you guys active. When that rudder's stuck, that's the reason you keep producing the same results. And instead of looking underneath, what do? Row harder. Row faster. Hey, boat, why wouldn't you go this way? Maybe I'll just do one. No. Maybe the other one. No. Maybe backwards. No result. Yeah? So here's the analogy. Your rowing, your physical act of rowing is your conscious mind. It's the things you can see. The rudder is your unconscious mind. The stuff that you can't see. And unless these two things are perfectly aligned, I don't care how much work you do, or how fast you row, or how much you think about it, or visualize it, or intend it, or any of that crap, the results aren't coming. You guys with me? Make sense? Yes. The work that Guy and I have done for now, 12 years? 13 years? 13 years? Is all around that. Is all about merging the conscious with the unconscious. That's where you get power, when those two are synced together. Okay? So that's what I want to talk to you guys about today. So, in order to do that, we need to talk about the two different parts of your brain. So I'm going to get a little sciencey. Is that okay with you guys? I like to nerd out on neuroscience. There's two parts of your brain. There's the limbic part. The limbic part of the brain is the oldest, most primitive part of the brain. It was handed down to us when we were in caves or jungles or whatever. Much later in life, a prefrontal cortex got developed. That's where your responsibility, your reasoning, all that kind of stuff comes in. Now, a couple of problems. One, we inherited that brain a long time ago. I would venture to say our lives today, not exactly like living in the jungle or in a cave, yes? But you can imagine that at the time, that brain was really useful. And it works today every time. It doesn't matter where you are in the world, you hear a loud noise, what do? Jump and turn. Do you think about jumping and turning? Nope, you do it. Why? Because at some point, that was a tiger. And if you used your new brain and was like, hey, that's a furry creature. Ooh, it's got sharp teeth. It's snarling. Probably hungry? Maybe wants to eat me? I should probably run. You don't have time to do that, right? Limbic is like, there's no trial and error to limbic. It's react or die. No trial and error with tigers, yes? Today, though, that's very, very different. But that part of your brain still operates. And so the fear that Justin was talking about and things that are stopping you today come from that part of your brain. So you're having this like pre-modern man part of you running the show. Making sense? And then you're like, well, why aren't I producing the results? I should be. But then every time something goes wrong in your life, what happens? I'm too stupid. I'm not good enough. Something's wrong with me. Right? So I want to give you a quick little example of how this goes into action. So imagine a little girl, she's, say, 11, and she plays the trumpet. And she's super excited. She's practicing all the time. She's getting really good. And she goes and she plays in front of her mom. And her mom's like, honey, that was great. I just noticed that there's a few things where your pitch was off here and you didn't play these right notes. And, the timing here was a little bit off. Now, I want you to envision this, okay? I'm talking about a little girl, but there's moments in your life where the exact same thing is happening today. I know they happened ages ago, but they're happening today. Little girl goes back to her room. What do you think she says to herself? I'm not good enough. Oh, that's a good one. Hold that one for a second. We're going to come back to that one. What do you guys say to yourself when you try to do something and it doesn't work? I can't do it. That's a good one. What else? It's too hard. That's a great one. I don't have enough discipline. Okay, cool. This always happens. Now here's what happens. This girl will say something like, I'm not good enough. I'm not talented enough. I'm not as talented as I thought I was. And what do you think that will make that little girl do? Or at least not try as hard. Maybe not stop, right? But she's going to go and do that piece again and maybe not practice with as much vigor because I'm just not as good as I thought I was, yeah? Then she's going to go and perform again, and what do you think is going to happen now that she's not trying as hard? She's going to do worse, yes? Which is going to do what to her story about not being talented enough or good enough? Reinforce it. Sounding familiar. Is this landing? Who does this in their lives? If you're human and breathing, you do this in your life. I do this in my life. So we make bullshit up, and then we go and you validate that bullshit. Why? Unconsciously, she stuck the rudder in I'm not good enough, and that started creating different results in her life, right? Not necessarily the ones she wants, but results. And to her, it wouldn't at this point matter how hard she was rowing those paddles. What was going to happen? She was going to prove that story to herself. I'm not talented enough. I'm not good enough. What do you think eventually happens to this little girl in the trumpet? She stops. Why would you play something that you're not good enough at? And every time you play, it's burdensome. Would you do that? What I just told you right now is the reason that 97% of people quit. You get that? So what we want to do is this. There's these two parts of the brain, right? The limbic, the frontal cortex. Your job, and this is why all of us do personal development work. Do you notice every single person that got up on stage today? What are they all speaking about? Here. Has anybody spoken about what you do on a computer today? What are every single one of us speaking about? Here. So here's the game I want to create with you guys. And this might take you 10 years. But this is a game worth playing. Your two parts of the brain need to get to a point where they fire almost at the same time. Almost. The limbic will always be first, but almost at the same time. Why? Because then when that event happens, you're aware of the fact, it's like Stuart was talking about before with the rocket, or Jay's little rocket. And what you're trying to do is realize and bring awareness to the fact that the limbic part of your brain is sending you that signal because it's terrified, it's unknown, and it has nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with you. Because to the limbic part of the brain, not knowing something new, being overwhelmed is scary. It's equivalent of death. So what does it want to do? Get you to stop doing that thing because it's freaking out. I wanted to say the F out, but I just stopped myself. I really want it. Freaking the fuck out. So when these two fire at near the same time, you now bring conscious awareness to the fact that, oh, that's an interesting thought, or that's an interesting feeling. Nothing to do with me. I'm a rational human being. What would I make this mean? And Star said it perfectly. What if the little girl instead said, I need more practice. I need more practice. Not that I'm not good enough. I need more practice. Now play that forward a bit. Say we got the rudder stuck in that mode. How good do you think the girl's going to be at trumpet? If every time someone says, like, you missed a note, she's like, practice harder. If every time you fail at something, you say, do it harder. Learn more. Find out the best person that's doing that, learn from them. What would your life look like in any area? I don't care what area. You want to get fit? Figure that out. You want money? Figure that out. Making sense? Anybody have any questions? Okay, we're moving on to part 2. Because this is how we're going to remove you from the equation. Let me look at my trusty handwritten circa 1987 writing down on paper notes. Do people really write down on paper? Okay, so here's the punchline to all this. This is how we remove you out of the equation. Do you guys know what a system is? If I say the word system, do you know what it is? What's a system? You seem pretty sure of yourself.
Set movements that you got to follow.
Okay, cool. I'll take that. The way I'm going to define system is something designed to do a specific action, create a specific result. This is a system. Its job is to flash light on my hand or on my body. System, designed to project that. We have systems for everything in our lives. You have systems for brushing your teeth. You have systems for putting on your clothes. You have systems for getting out of bed. You have systems for going out to dinner, asking people out, how you put your makeup on, how you do your hair, systems for everything. Yeah? Where most people go wrong is when something doesn't work in your life, who do you blame? Something's wrong with me. I'm not smart enough. I'm not good enough. If I was only this. What if, try this on. I'm not saying this is truth, but just try it on. What if it has nothing to do with you? Did they hook up a mouse on stage with a mic or something? What if all it is a system? If a system's job is to produce a certain result, and the result that you want isn't the result that it's producing, guess what? Nothing wrong with you. The system that you're using produces that result. Right? If I wanted to build a machine that paints cars, and the system that I wanted painted cars, I wanted it to paint cars blue, and the system was painting cars red, would I be like, oh, there's something wrong with me? I keep wanting blue, but it keeps doing red. That would be retarded. Sorry, I shouldn't use that word. That would be stupid. The system is programmed to produce a certain result. The rudder is positioned in a certain position. It will take you where that rudder is aiming. So when people are like, I'm going to work harder, I'm going to work harder, maybe your system's broken. How many of you guys are in a job that you absolutely hate? Welcome to the SFM. that system of a job that you hate, doesn't matter how hard you work and for how long you work and how many more hours you put into it or any of that, will that change how much you hate your job? That's the system. Is it you? Is there something wrong with you for having a job that you don't like? Is there something wrong with you for having a job that you don't like? No. But you make it so. Don't you? So why did I pick that job? Why do I keep doing this to myself? What if it was all just a system? Now here's the magic weapon. There is nothing that any of you want to create in your lives that someone in the world has not created before you. Are you guys clear on that? There's not one thing that someone can tell me right now that some other human being hasn't done already. Not one. So, where most people get stopped is you say something like, I want to do this, this, and this. And then that limbic part of your brain goes, that's impossible. Rudder, fixed, and impossible. Doesn't matter how much work you do, how hard you try, never going to produce that result. Got it? But if we know, fact, someone in the universe has done this thing already, isn't that by definition not impossible anymore? It might be difficult. I'll give you that. Difficult. Difficult's good. Difficult's doable. Impossible, not doable. So if you wanted to upgrade a system in your life, well, first of all, you're all very smart for being in this room. You guys get that this is a system? Very different than the one out there? Most of you are here because that's what you saw. Now, it may have not been called a system, or you may not have perceived it as a system, but you get that this system is different than anything out there, and that's why you're here. There's nothing, look, what did I start by saying? I'm standing on the stage, June 22nd of this year will be my 5-year anniversary in this business. Less than 5 years. Today is May 6th, 7th? Less than 5 years. When I sat there, if you asked me, I remember actually walking up to Jay and JJ, and I was like, I'm going to be on your stage one day. I remember we got the Rising Star Award, that first one. I was like, different thing than I was thinking of being on stage, but I'll take it. This is a good start. It was a start. That's it, right? Like we moved in the right direction. Here's the beauty. There are people here, amongst you, me, JJ, Stu, Alex, Wolf, who have what you want. In some way, shape, or form. I'm not talking about money or anything like that. In some way, shape, or form, the lives that we get to live, you're like, that's why you're here. Well, guess what? We've developed systems that work for us to produce certain results. Stu, are you constantly trying to figure out ways to upgrade your systems in your life in different areas of life? Every day. Every day. He doesn't make it personal. He doesn't make it about himself. He just goes out and learn. Because you know what? Someone's doing it way better than us in every single area. I want to get fit. I'm actually going to, this is going to be funny. I'm going to share this with you, but you're going to see this on my birthday. So I'm just going to give you a warning. I'm going to do, you know how everyone's like big on like before and after shots? I'm going to do like a 2-year before and after. And it's going to be me standing in front of a mirror looking exactly the same way. This is my before and after. Why? Because consistently I work at it. There is no before and after. Find a system. Find someone that has the results that you want. Beg them, plead with them to work with you. Learn their system. Consistently implement that system. And you'll have everything you've ever wanted in your life. Good? Now here's what I want to tell you, and every single person's touched on this, and it might be repetitive, but it's so worth saying. If your system, there's nothing wrong with money. I love money. I will have a Ferrari. Just want a Ferrari. Not yet. Not yet. It is much harder to build a business focused on value, ethics, and fulfillment. It was Johnny, right? Johnny Deacon, man of steel. I've seen your pictures. I've seen him. He spoke about it. He had a business that was making a lot of money. But it wasn't fulfilling, right? No. He had a great system for making money, right? Made money. But didn't set fulfillment. So now he's working on a new system, one that actually does that. My system is built around how do I change as many people's lives in the short amount of time that I have on this planet. That's my system. Everything I do is to figure out how to do that better, bigger, and with more impact. Everything. I wake up in the morning, I read books, that's why. I make a video, that's why. I do this, that's why. That's my system. Because that system makes me really happy. Really happy. And could I have made a lot more money doing what I do? You better fucking believe it. I could have had multiple Ferraris. But I wouldn't have been happy. So you guys have to find what it is that lights you up. What it is that you want to spend the rest of your life till your last breath doing. I'm certain that on my deathbed, I'll probably say something to someone like to try to teach them something because it's just programmed. There's a study, and Stu was talking about happiness. There's a study, scientific study, that shows that when someone is happy, their brain, the neuronal fires in the brain operate better. You will be more productive, you will work better, you will achieve more, you will be fitter, healthier, everything when you're happy. And trust me, money won't get you there. Wayne Dyer has a beautiful line. He says, the world's got it wrong. Everyone believes that when they'll see it when they believe it. No, they'll believe it when they see it. I've programmed myself to say it like I couldn't even say it the wrong way. You know that line, I'll believe it when I see it? You're never going to see it. Ever. When you believe it, you will see it. When you are happy, the money will come. When you stop thinking about money, the money will come. Don't build a system about making money. Do not build a system around making money. Do not build a system around making money. Clear? You will end up unhappy, unfulfilled. Money is a byproduct. Add more value. Give more. Love more. You do that, the world, the universe will bestow the most brilliant gifts upon you. Build that system. Does that make sense? Do you guys understand that it has nothing to do with you? There's nothing, you can cut any of us open. There's no gene or something in our blood that says these guys are seven-figure earners. These guys are destined to build entrepreneurial businesses. Nothing. There's nothing different between us and you. Nothing. Other than our systems consistently doing that work over and over and over and over. Trying, failing, with just as much enthusiasm as when we started. Clear? Any questions? Let me see what else I got. I think that's it. I'm good. I'm good. All right, so hopefully you got to see some of Elon's passion come through there. Had a lot of fun presenting that. I hope you got a lot of golden nuggets for yourself and what's stopping you in your life and how to kind of start breaking through it. Now, obviously, this was the high-level 30,000-foot view. There's real-life tools on how to accomplish this with velocity in your life today. And for that, again, I want to invite you to either come check out our coaching programs that are ongoing. We meet every 2 weeks in a very small coaching group. You get one-on-one coaching from Guy and I. Or you can obviously come to our live event, which is November 3rd through the 5th out in San Diego. So to get all the information on that, you can go to youwillhaveitall.com, all spelled out, or youwillhaveitall.com/live for the live event. We'd love to connect with you and see how we can have you start producing the results that actually matter to you right now in your life. So I hope you enjoyed this. Leave a comment below this. If you're watching this on YouTube, let me know what you thought. And if you're listening to it in the car, would love to hear from you as well. Elon@SatoriPrime.com. Always looking for your feedback. Love you all, and we'll see you on the next Performance Enhancing Podcast.